Hey guys, it's Sonia. I am in my hotel room in Alexandria, Virginia, and I'm trying my hardest to get my camera set up so that you guys can kind of watch me do this spirograph while I talk. And I'm having all kinds of issues, mainly because I don't have any kind of good setup. Right now I'm trying the ice bucket and it is not working. So, let me see what else I can find and I will be back. Okay, we're gonna try this. If y'all could see how I have this rigged, you would laugh. It's the top of the hotel ice bucket stuck precariously on a Triscuit box. Yeah, okay, so we're gonna see how this goes. So what I am doing here is, I got up here, I didn't bring too much stuff with me. I brought my pens that I always bring, my pen bag, and I brought my spirograph stuff. These just happen to be in my spirograph thing, so I got a little bit of bling with me. I have a mini mister, but that's actually cough syrup. Oh, I brought this graph paper and my little watercolors. So once I got here, I decided I couldn't stand it and I needed to do another journaling by 5 journal. So I went to the grocery store on Wednesday. When I finally got here, I'll tell y'all that saga in a second. And they had composition books, so I bought another composition book and I glued my pages together, and I'm just gonna use what I have. I think it'll be a fun challenge, but I did figure that since I don't have a whole lot of things, images and things like that, I took a magazine off the plane and I cut it up, and I had a People magazine from the airport and I've cut it up. So I do have some images, but I thought I would just make a bunch of spirographs too, so that I can use those. And I see now that you can't see what I'm doing the way I have this camera set up. So, how am I gonna do this? I'm gonna have to turn this way, I guess. Okay, maybe you can see this, maybe you can't. This is all an experiment, right? So anyway, yeah, I was supposed to be here on Monday. My flight was supposed to leave at 10:15, but it was super foggy on the Mississippi coast. So that my flight got delayed and delayed and delayed and delayed. And finally, about 2 o'clock, they had me rerouted to fly into Atlanta at, I think, 8:20 or something like that. And then I had to catch my flight up here to DC at 9:45, and that was cutting it real close for me, because if I had missed that last flight into Atlanta, or if it had been delayed, then I would have been stuck in Atlanta, and I felt like crap. I've had a cold, and I just did not want to risk that. So I decided to let them reroute me to Tuesday morning. So we got to the airport. My flight Tuesday morning was supposed to be at 6:20 because I really needed to be up here for a meeting that started Tuesday morning. But we got to the airport. Right before we got to the airport, I got a notification that the flight was canceled because it was foggy again on the coast, like seriously foggy. So they had me rerouted immediately to leave on Wednesday morning. So I didn't really want to do that, but there were no flights out of New Orleans or Mobile because of the weather in other parts of the country and on the coast. Everybody had booked those flights all up. So I could have possibly gotten a late, that same last flight out on Tuesday that would have left me risking getting stuck in Atlanta. And I decided to go to the doctor instead, because I had not been to the doctor yet, and you know, I never feel like I can legitimately say I'm sick unless I have a fever, and I never had a fever. So I didn't want to go to the doctor. Anyway, I went to the doctor. I have a bad sinus infection. I got medication. I got an antibiotic and some cough syrup. And the cough syrup has been awesome because I was hacking myself to death coughing. It was horrible. I don't even know if they would have actually let me on the plane on Tuesday morning because I was having such a coughing fit at the ticket counter. They were looking at me like I had Ebola or something. Yeah, so anyway, I went to the doctor. I slept all day Tuesday. So then Wednesday I went to go get on my flight again at 6:20, and the cargo door of the plane would not shut. So that got delayed, and while they got that fixed, and thank goodness they got it fixed, and we never even had to get off the plane or anything. They had it fixed pretty quickly, but I still missed my connection in Atlanta, so I got delayed there again. And they rerouted me, and then the flight that they rerouted me on, the crew didn't get there in time, so that one got delayed. I mean, it was just one thing after another. So anyway, I finally got here. Our meeting started at Tuesday at 8:30, and I finally got here about 3 o'clock on Wednesday. But I am here, safe and sound. I'm here till next Friday, so I'm here over the weekend. And yeah, so I've got a lot of work I need to catch up on. I'm going to be doing that this weekend, and I'm going to be doing this little journaling by 5 thing, and pretty much not leaving the room. My hotel room. I went to the grocery on Wednesday, so I am stocked up and I don't need anything. I have plenty of food, I have plenty of water, and I'm just going to chill in this room and rest and try to get over this crud I have. So anyway, that's what I'm going to be doing. I'm getting ready to do step 1 of the journaling by 5 process, and it is paints or inks. What I have with me is just my watercolor palette, my little travel watercolor set, and I have some distress markers which are water soluble. I'm going to try to use those, and I have these aqua markers that I actually have had a while, and I've never actually really used them, so I'm not real sure how this is going to turn out. It may be a complete and total disaster. I don't know, but we're going to try it out together. I think I'm going to film it and then speed it up because I know you guys don't need to listen to me rattle any more than you've already listened to, huh? But anyway, that's what I'm going to be doing, and I will be back in a little bit. So this is my first ever voiceover. Yay! I finally have video software that I can use. So right here I'm just using watercolors from my watercolor palette, and these are little Derwent Inktense blocks. I had a few of these in my watercolor palette. I really love them because they have such vibrant colors, and they're less messy than watercolor. Now these are those aqua markers, and they have good colors, but as you can see, they are not very blendy. And I don't know if it's just because of the notebook paper that I was using or what, but I didn't like those too much. So here I went back to the Inktense blocks. I just love those, and they turned out to blend really well on this little notebook paper. And let's see, these are the distress markers, and again, those did not turn out very blendy, so I ended up putting some watercolor over the top of that to get some more juiciness out of it. And I kept flipping back to make sure they weren't sticking. Now just back to watercolors. I love that color combo right there. I'm obsessed with that kind of limey green color right now. And I think I actually got that limey green color from just wetting my brush and then going on top of the Inktense block, because you can use them that way too. You can use them in a lot of different ways. I love those things. I finally bought myself the 72 pack of the Inktense blocks. I found them on a super sale. I'm not exactly sure. I don't remember exactly where I bought them from.
More Inktense blocks and watercolors. Yeah, I can't recommend those Inktense blocks enough, and especially for traveling because they're not messy. They do flake off a little bit, kind of almost like pastels, but not nearly as chalky as pastels, but still a lot less messy to travel with than regular watercolors. Um, if you don't have time to let those dry. Ooh, I like that effect. The wet paper, and then put the Inktense blocks on top of that, and you get some of that diffusion of the colors. Yeah, that's pretty good. I like putting my wet pages, putting the clean page on top of the wet page. Do you know what I'm talking about? You know, the opposite page. I like that because you get some really cool effects on the opposite pages. And yeah, see, look at that. Oh, that's some good juiciness right there. And I will do something cool on those pages. And sometimes I end up even liking the opposite pages better than I like the pages I intended to do stuff on first. I had a little extra time, so I went back and threw a little bit more color down on a few of them. And that's it.
I got step 1 done in my journal and everything's all nice and dry. And I cut out a bunch of images. This is all from, well, I did some spirographs and cut those out. So I have those. And the rest of these images are from the Sky magazine that I got off the airplane and a People magazine, and that's it. That's all I had to work from, so I'm gonna have to use what I got. One problem is this is the last glue stick I have with me, and it's almost out, so I'm gonna be gluing this stuff in pretty lightly, and then at some point I'll get a better glue stick or more glue at the drugstore or something. But anyway, I'm gonna do this and I'm gonna time it and film it, and we'll see what we come up with.
So I've set my timer for 15 minutes, and I've just started grabbing some stuff, some earrings, some background flowers. That's a necklace. That, I'm trying not to think too hard, but I do like to kind of coordinate my colors as much as I can. There's one of my spirographs that I had cut out. That is a lion. Another spirograph. More spirographs. And that is some flower petals. That's a little, oh, I love those Opie fingernail polish ads. I love the Opie fingernail polish mainly just because they have the best names ever of their polishes. But I like the ads where they have like a whole collection pictured, because that gives you such a great little color blast that you can stick on a page somewhere. Let's see, that is, oh, some perfume toppers and more of those flower petals. There was like a 2-page spread of perfumes and flower petals, so I got a lot of good stuff out of that one 2-page ad. Love those. And oh, I see those little dancing dolls were from a article about Latin America in the Sky magazine. That was another something from that same article. You can find ephemera junk in pretty much anything. There's a good spirograph. I like that one. I really wanted to use that picture of those 2 little girls. I think I've, oh, that is just the perforated edge of a piece of that graph paper that I stuck on there. Let's So there's another necklace, some earrings. Those always are good to add a little bling to your pages. Spirographs. And more earrings. Let's see. I'm not sure what oh, that's just more flower petals. Oh, and I finally found a place for those girls. I'm sure in another step down the road you'll be able to see those little girls a little better. When I got to this point, I was pretty much just determined to use everything I had. So, and I think I did. I think I used everything I had ended up cutting out of those two magazines and then my spirographs.
I still have 3 minutes to spare, actually, a little less than 3 minutes, but I have used up everything I cut out. Ooh, I've got one more little, this itty bitty flower thing. Where do you want to live, little flowers? Right here, definitely. Okay, cool. So that is that section. I'm going to go back and glue until I have no more glue stick. I'm sure some of this stuff did not stick, but I won't move it around. I will leave it right where I first put it. I'm just gonna improve the stickage. Next is stamps and stencils. I have neither stamps nor stencils with me. So what I think I'm gonna do is cut some stencils out of some heavy paper, like a magazine insert or something like that. Just some lines or snowflakes or I don't know, something like that. And I think I'm just going to use some of my pit pins through the stencil. That's all I can really think to do for that step. And I think that'll work okay. So we'll see how that comes out, and I will share that with you guys when I do it.